Now, in order to add a video into our scene, we actually need the help of SpriteKit. This is the 2D gaming technology that Apple has developed. Because if you think about it, videos are not exactly 3D content, right? So there's actually no native implementation of creating and placing videos into 3D using SceneKit. But no matter, SceneKit and SpriteKit actually play really nicely together. And it's time that we show you how you can combine the powers of SpriteKit and SceneKit and ARKit all together to create something pretty magical. Before you get started, I recommend just having a quick read of the documentation for the SceneKit video node class that we're going to be using to render our video. I'll include a link to it in the course resources list, and you can just check it out before you head over to start coding. All right, so now that we've read a little bit about SK Video Node, it's time to put it into action. Now I'm going to create it right at the top of our if-let statement once we're sure that we found an image anchor in the 3D scene. And first of all, I'm going to create a constant called video node. And this is going to be of type SK video node. And we're going to initialize it with the initializer that allows me to load up a video with a name. So the one that's a file name with a data type of string. And this initializes a video node using a video file stored in the app bundle. And that's exactly what we have when we incorporated that video into our project. So let's hit enter. And the string that I have to provide is the full name of harrypotter.mp4. And there we go. Now, I know that when we incorporate images, we tend to ignore the extension. When we're using SK Video Node, it's really important that you include the full name of the file, including the extension, and make sure you don't have any typos between how it's spelt over here and how it's spelt over here. So now that we've created this brand new video node, we're going to let it start playing immediately. So all we need to say is video node.play, and that runs the play method. Now, this video node is a SpriteKit video node, and we need to add that into a SceneKit element so that we can place the SceneKit element into our scene view session. To do that, we need to create a new scene. So we'll call this a video scene, and this is going to be initialized using the SpriteKit scene. And this is a node that allows us to display SpriteKit objects. And we can initialize it with a size. And the size that it accepts is of type CG size. So let's create a new CG size using a width and a height. Now, this width and height doesn't have to be precise. It's just a guess of the width and height in pixels of your video. So say if you have a 720p video, then it would be 720 in height by 1080 by width. So in our case, our video is actually a lot smaller than that. Now, because we're using a 360p video in resolution, that means that it has a width of 480 by 360. So that's what we'll put as the size for our SK scene. Now, once we've created this video scene, then it's just as what we did with SceneKit. We can add our video node to our video scene. So we can say video scene dot add child node, and that is going to be the video node. And this is ready for display in 2D. Now, at the moment, we're not really displaying anything in 2D because we're working with a 3D environment. But in our 3D environment, all of our 3D objects have materials that can be used to cover our 3D objects. So for example, if we had a sphere, then we could add a material of the textures of the moon to make that sphere look like a 3D moon object. Now in this case, we're going to change the material of our plane. Instead of having a UI color or a UI image, these are all 2D objects. We're going to add our video scene as the 2D object that we're going to cover our plane. And this will make it display when we render our newspaper in AR. So let's go ahead and test it out. So our image is being recognized and our video is playing. But you'll notice that it's only playing one portion of the video and it's not correctly positioned in the middle of our image. So we need to fix that and move it so that it's centered on the image that was recognized. And to do that, we have to change the video node's position. So just before we add our video node to our video scene, let's tap into the video node's position property and change its position in its parent. So we can change the position by using a CG point. And the point is going to be consisting of an X and a Y value in CG float. Now, the position of our video node that we want to set is bang in the middle of the video scene so that our video is scaled and positioned precisely in the center of the scene. So that means that the X position will be our video scene dot size dot width divided by 2, so halfway in the middle. And again, the same with the height. So video scene dot size dot height divided by 2. So that's also bang in the middle on the y-axis. And now if we run our app, we'll see the size update. And there you go. So our video is now taking up the entire space of the scene and it's centered on the scene, but there's one more problem. It's flipped vertically. And that means that we need to rotate it along the y-axis so that we can see it the right way round. And to do that, we need to tap into another one of Video Node's properties. And this one is called the Y scale. So we can use this property to scale up the video on the y-axis. And there's a property for X scale as well as Z scale. But in our case, our video is flipped along the y-axis. So what we can do here is we don't want to scale our video. We don't want to make it bigger or smaller. So we're going to keep it as 1, but we're going to make it -1. And if we change the scale of our video along the y-axis negatively, so reverse it, then it will also reverse the image to make it flip in the vertical axis or in the y-axis. So let's try this again. And now you can see that our video is the right way round, and it's like as if it is on the newspaper because of the tracking abilities of ARKit. So that's pretty awesome, right? Given how few lines of code we need to write in order to do this. That's all from me. I hope you enjoyed making this magical newspaper app with me, and I'll see you on the next lesson.